With the purchase of Motorola, Lenovo's been in the headlines a lot this year. And now, in the Vibe Z2 Pro, they've got a flagship that on its own is newsworthy. An all-metal body, a Quad HD display, an almost top-of-the-line chip inside, and a whopping 4000 mAh battery. It seems great, on paper at least. So, in this video, let's take a closer look at Lenovo's phablet offering. But before we do, if this is your first time here or in case you've plain old forgotten, my name's Ash, this is C4E Tech, and you're watching my full review of the Lenovo Vibe Z2 Pro. Let's get started. The Vibe Z2 Pro is built solid. It's got metal to the back and the sides. To the right, we have a power button and the dual SIM card slots. We've got plastic to the top and bottom though. The top houses the 3.5mm headphone jack. We have the volume rocker to the left, and at the bottom we've got the micro USB 2.0 port, primary microphone, and a really loud downwards facing speaker. Like I mentioned earlier, the back is made out of metal and is home to the 16 megapixel rear camera, dual LED flash, secondary microphone, and the Lenovo branding. While I'm not a huge fan of phones with 6-inch displays, Lenovo's done a great job at keeping the bezels narrow. The Vibe Z2 Pro will fit in most jean pockets, and here's my buddy fake attending a call to show you guys how ridiculously huge this phone is when held to your ear. Again, Lenovo's done a fine job of keeping the weight under 180 grams and keeping the thickness at just 7.7 millimeters. But since the sides aren't curved, the Vibe Z2 Pro is not the most ergonomic of phones. But then again, if you are someone looking to get a phone with a 6-inch display, single-handed usage or ergonomics aren't really things that are at the top of your list. Anyway, talking about displays, the Corning Gorilla Glass 3 covered IPS display on the Z2 Pro has a Quad HD resolution. This, when spread over 6 inches of display real estate, gives the Z2 Pro a pixel density of 490 pixels per inch. That's really sharp. Colors are a bit saturated, which can be a pro or a con depending on your preferences, and this display also boasts of very deep blacks. Large Quad HD displays consume a lot of power, and a common shortcut manufacturer's take is to turn down the brightness levels. I'm happy to report that Lenovo's not done that. The Z2 Pro handles quite well outdoors. To compensate for the power drain, Lenovo's thrown in a mammoth 4000 mAh non-user replaceable battery here. Sadly though, the results aren't impressive. They aren't bad. The Vibe Z2 Pro will get you through a day on a single charge on most days, but I guess saying 4000 mAh mentioned on the spec sheet got me a little too excited. Anyway, to put that into numbers, on a looping video playback test, the Vibe Z2 Pro lasted a little over 8 hours before running out of juice. Not great, but decent. Now, the Vibe Z2 Pro is powered by a Snapdragon 801 chipset, the MSM 8974AC to be precise. That's 4 Cray 400 cores clocked at 2.5 GHz each, coupled with an overclocked Adreno 330 GPU and 3 gigs of RAM. The internal storage is 32 gigs and sadly there's no room for memory expansion. Anyway, as expected, the performance is good, and despite the Quad HD display, real-time usage with intensive tasks like gaming proved to create no real issues. The Vibe Z2 Pro was more than happy to smoothly run any game we threw its way. And like I mentioned earlier, this loudspeaker is really loud enough for me to overlook its placement. And audio via the 3.5mm headphone jack's great too. I tested it with both the included earphones and a pair of Meze 88 Classics here, and it was great, no distortion, clear audio. By the way, these Meze headphones sound great and are made out of real wood. If you do want to pick them up, I'll leave a link in the description down below. And if you've been following me on social media, you'd probably know that the first Vibe Z2 Pro I received had a defective earpiece. I had to send it back, get it replaced. But both devices had extreme heating issues. I've mentioned that on my Facebook page. Do note that I don't usually care about heating as long as it doesn't make day-to-day usage very difficult. I'm okay with the phone heating up a bit while gaming or using the camera for extended periods, but the Vibe Z2 Pro got insanely hot, to the point of me wanting to just put the phone down immediately. But thankfully, Lenovo did send out an update about a week back, and that's mostly resolved these issues. Now the phone still does get hot while running intensive games or shooting in 4K for quite some time, but barring that, it's fine. For the most part, using WhatsApp or Facebook or just browsing, it does not get hot anymore. Respect to Lenovo for fixing this quick. Talking about the camera, Lenovo's thrown in a 16 megapixel rear shooter with optical image stabilization here. Images are sharp, lots of detail, color reproduction's good, it's fast to focus and the shutter speed's okay. Pictures shot with the 5 megapixel front camera turned out quite good as well. The user interface is also pretty good. By default, there's a normal mode that gives you a dial to choose your options from, but if you want more granular control, you could hit the little icon to the left bottom, and a few annoying seconds later, it switches to the professional mode. Here you get a lot more options to choose from. Overall, the UI complements the Vibe Z2 Pro's stellar hardware quite well. It's also worth noting that this phone can also shoot 4K video, and thanks to optical image stabilization on board, results are very impressive. There's a lot of detail, the frame rate's good, and the resulting footage is pretty steady. Next up, we get to the software. Out of the box, the Vibe Z2 Pro runs on Android 4.4 KitKat with Lenovo's own Lenovo UI on top. And like with most manufacturer overlays coming out of China, the Lenovo UI lacks an app drawer. All your apps go right onto the home screen. Lenovo's thrown in a lot of features here, and for the most part, they work great. For example, the ability to change wallpapers on the fly on both the home screen and the lock screen is a welcome addition. Drawing a C to the edge of the display will activate single-handed mode, and like with Samsung's implementation, you can move or resize the reduced window. I also like the universal touchless controls. While other implementations work only in a select few scenarios, Lenovo's got it better. They've nailed it. They call it 3D gestures, and you can use it with almost any app. There's also a lot of other features thrown in here. Well, as great as these features are, I'm sure there are some of you out there who are thinking, I don't want this crap. I wish they just left things stock. And even for those of you, Lenovo doesn't disappoint. All you need to do is go to About Phone, Version Information, and tap the version number 7 times. This unlocks the developer options. Now from the developer options, you could choose to switch to the Google UI style. It's gonna cost the phone to reboot and will take a few seconds, but all your apps and data are retained. Now you get a more stock Android-esque experience. An app drawer, Google Nav, the familiar Holo settings menu, it's all there. All the extra Lenovo add-on features that we saw earlier are not available here. Well, Lenovo UI is pretty fast. It does occasionally stutter thanks to the overload of features thrown in, and this UI on the other hand feels rapid fast. Apps open up quick, no lag, everything's smooth and stable. I really wish other manufacturers start giving us, the end users, this option to choose what we want to use. And I really appreciate Lenovo for being the first to offer this. Anyway, if you do want to head back to the Lenovo UI, the procedure is the same, and again, all your apps and data will be retained. Now, if all this hasn't convinced you, or at least got you mildly interested in the Vibe Z2 Pro, I'm sure this next part will. The Z2 Pro undercuts almost every other Quad HD toting device in the market, and undercuts them by quite a lot. This, in combination with offering an option to use a clean stock Android-esque UI, top-of-the-line specs, and a stellar camera with optical image stabilization nonetheless, makes it a little easier to look past the heating issues and the middling battery life. But that's just me though. What do you guys think? Would you be interested in picking up a Z2 Pro? If not, what do you feel Lenovo should have done different? Well, let me get you started. I for one would use this as my daily driver if it just had a little smaller display. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. By the way, if you are interested in seeing a comparison of the Vibe Z2 Pro with that other phablet, again, do let me know in the comments below and I will show the full comparison. So, if you do want to pick up a Vibe Z2 Pro, you could do that from mirrormobiles.com, or if you are from India, it is being sold exclusively by Flipkart. But before you place an order, I'd highly recommend that you sign up with GoPaisa.com. GoPaisa is India's highest paying cashback site and helps you get the best deals, be it cashback or coupons. Just sign up with GoPaisa.com, find the store you want. They have a huge list of over 300 stores including Flipkart, Snapdeal and eBay. Head on over to the site, shop. The retailer provides GoPaisa commission and GoPaisa provides you cashback. You can use this cashback to recharge your phone or DTH or just transfer it to your bank. Anyway, I'll leave a link to GoPaisa.com in the description below, and since they are sponsoring this video, do let them know we sent you by signing up with the URL www.gopaisa.com/ref/c4etech. So with that, I guess we get to the end of this review. Hope you guys liked it. This was my first time shooting outdoors. You've been asking me to do it for a long time, so I decided I'll do it, but being my first time, I know I've made some obvious mistakes, the reflections, the shadows. I realized that, and I will be fixing them in future videos. I'll be working harder on it. I will make sure that it doesn't happen again. So I just wanted to say thank you for putting up with that at least this time, and also the next video, since that footage has also been shot already. So anyway guys, thanks a lot for your patience. Thanks a lot for watching. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. Till next time, this is Ashia from C4E Tech signing off. You guys have a great day. Bye bye now.